Francisco Conceicao to Juventus. Here we go. 3 things that make this deal a good deal. Trust me, it's coming from me, okay? Me telling the world why Conceicao is a good signing. But come on, we can't do a Conceicao video without me giving my true opinion on the deal. But listen, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I might even enter my politician era, okay? But listen, the fee is reported 32 million, which is 2 million above the 30 million release clause. Now everybody sat looking at it thinking, wow, Juventus have just spent 4 weeks negotiating and they've still gone out and paid them more than the initial release clause. It's not that linear. I'll be real with you guys. Like, some things aren't always black and white, linear, straightforward. No. Juventus have agreed to pay the deal in 4 installments, which is better than just paying 30 million up front, especially when you bear in mind finances, the capital that's available to them to spend this summer. You're better off paying 8 million this summer for Francisco Conceicao than paying 30 million, which on paper is cheaper than 32 million in the long run, but it means you sacrifice 30 million this summer right now. So financially speaking, Juventus have practically gotten Conceicao based off this summer's accounts for 8 million. And it's not too bad of a deal, I'll be honest with you guys, especially when you bear in mind all the players that have already moved in the transfer window and you look at some of the ridiculous prices that they've been going for. Like, I don't know, like, each to their own. We all look at football differently. Nori Madueke, 55 million. Elanga, 55 million. Like, Conceicao for 30 million. It's a decent deal, I'll be honest with you guys. Now, let me explain to you guys why it's a decent deal. Number one, like I told you guys, financially, the structure, I actually agree with it because I feel like it leaves Juventus with a bit more money to go out and sign a few more players. 2, I'm a firm advocate, I'm a firm believer in get the coach the players that he wants. Now, at the end of the day, we're just fans. We just sit down and give our opinions. I don't have to support every decision that Juventus make or turn around and tell the world, wow, what a deal. He's a game changer. No, not really. But I'm saying at the end of the day, financially, it gives them more money to spend. 2, I'm a firm advocate in get the coach the players that he wants. Every coach comes with their own unique philosophy, with their own unique play style, their own principles of play. And I feel like nowadays coaches want different personalities within their camp. When I look at Tudor, next season being his first official campaign as Juventus manager, as the coach, it's only right you give the coach the tools that he wants. And based off reports, he was impressed with somebody like Conceicao towards the end of the Serie A campaign in the Club World Cup. He was one of his desired targets. I want Francisco Conceicao, and of course, within reason. If Tudor turned around and said, I want Lamine Yamal, or I want Cristiano Ronaldo from Saudi, or Lionel Messi, it doesn't really make sense. But at the end of the day, if the price is right, if it fits his vision, if he's got a spot for him in his team, then it's only right to give the manager what he wants. You don't want a manager that's going to turn around halfway into a season and be like, well, the reason why I've lost 5-0 to Empoli is because you never got me Francisco Conceicao. No, get the coach the players that he wants. And the third reason is mentality, attitude, hunger, commitment, determination. Like, Conceicao really came across like an eager beaver. Like, he really wanted to join Juventus. And I'll be honest with you guys, those are things that can't be said about many players in the modern game. A lot of players will join you if the price is right. Okay, if the conditions are right. I don't know, if you promise them a hotel or a house with 10 bedrooms. There's not many players that will be more than happy to waive 20% of their financial rights in order to speed up negotiations. And I feel like Conceicao has done a massive favour. Well, 1, for himself in order to get the deal over the line. 2, for Juventus. 3, for Porto. Like, they get the money. He gets to move to Juventus. Juventus get themselves a signing. And Lord willing, Juventus can now move on to some other targets. Because I feel like a lot of Juventus' transfer business has been dependent on other players. Whether it's signing this player to move on to the next target, selling this player in order to replace them with somebody. Now, they've got their Jonathan David. They've got their Francisco Conceicao. They can now move on to other targets, which is always a positive. Like, the Serie A season is around the corner. Juventus need to get these players in, hopefully before pre-season starts. Now, this is my opinion on Conceicao from a financial standpoint, from a mentality standpoint. The only reason why with me, I'm still not too convinced. Like, I'm not going to turn around and tell you guys he's not a great human being or he's not a good Samaritan in any way. Hell no. Like, he's behaved in such a good way. Like, he's helped Juventus get this deal over the line. I just look at this Juventus team, having sat and watched every single game of them last season, And I just came to the conclusion at the end of the campaign. Like, listen, don't take this the wrong way. I feel like sometimes my honesty and my bluntness can annoy people, okay? I'm not going to sit down and preach about every single decision they do and tell you it's the best thing ever. Based off what I saw of Juventus last season, like 40, 50, 60 games, all competitions, home, away, injuries, suspensions, different coaches, different formations, I just came to the conclusion Juventus needed serious reinforcements in attack. And if it meant Vlahovic leaving and bringing in a Jonathan David, that's a net positive. If it meant the whole trio, the whole trio that was utilised on the right-hand side last season, from Nico Gonzalez, coup minus to Conceicao, in my opinion, all three of them didn't do enough on a consistent of basis to warrant that spot. Kenan, for me, done enough on a consistent of basis to warrant that left-hand side. Jonathan David is a gamble. There's question marks over him. We don't know if he can replicate the performances that we saw at Lille. But based on his performances of the past, based on his last season, based on the fact that he's just an out-and-out goal scorer, there's a bit more faith in him. When you look at the right-hand side, I feel like every single one of them had good moments, okay? Like, Koopmeiners had good moments where he scored a goal, he got himself a nice assist. Conceicao from the game against Inter to the game against Leipzig, good moments. When you look at Nico Gonzalez, he also had good moments. I can't remember the game, but it was when he came off the bench, chipped the keeper from about 20, 25 yards. Good moments. Good moment players don't get you far. And that's why, in the summer, I was looking at Conceicao and I was like, maybe, just maybe, Juventus should look elsewhere, because maybe, just maybe, they should look at somebody that's a bit more potent, that's a bit more consistent, where his game is a bit more refined. Maybe, just maybe, that 30 million is better on going somebody that's just a bit more experienced, like not somebody that you look at and say, he's one for the future. Let's hope and pray in the next 12 months that he can develop and grow, because I feel like the common narrative around Conceicao, like just based off what I read on social media, is everybody likes him for his character. Like, don't get me wrong, he's got an amazing character, his attitude, his mentality. Everybody likes him for that reason. And everybody is banking on him becoming a better player. But if that is the case, you're in trouble. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, you're in trouble at the moment. Maybe in 12 months' time, you could turn around and say, listen, it was worth the gamble. It's paid off. Look at the player that he's become and look at how much we paid for him. We've practically won the lottery. The way football works is you could look back on it in 12 months' time and be like, he hasn't really developed much. He hasn't really grown much. He hasn't really shown that high level of IQ in the final third. He's not really making the right decision on a consistent of basis, week in, week out. He's not really a game changer. He's still frustrating to watch. And that's when you've got yourself in a massive pickle. And I'll be honest with you guys, like when I look at Conceicao, I'm not saying he's a horrible player. Like, I've never ever said that he's a horrible player, but I just truly believe Juventus could have done better. But I'll be honest with you guys, based on the names that I've seen Juventus linked with, based on the amount of money that Juventus have, 30 million on Conceicao, it's probably a far better gamble than what else they would have gone in for. And you have to bear in mind, no sporting director, Damien Comolli only being in the job for like, what, 1 month? It does hold them back when it comes to player recruitment. Like, I would very much rather Juventus dedicate a year to pumping all their time and energy into Conceicao, and maybe, just maybe, this time next year, they might look at it and be like, sweet, Comolli, you've been here for now 12 months. The sporting director is appointed. You guys have had time to assess and dissect Conceicao's performances. And if you feel like they're not good enough, demote him to the bench. You've now got time to go out and get a far better player. With Conceicao, I'll just be honest with you guys. Like, maybe I'm a bit stubborn. His type of profile as a winger, I don't really like. And I just feel like decision making is not one of those things that you can just automatically wake up one morning, have your bowl of porridge, and you've got it. Like, decision making is one of those things. You can enter your prime years and you still lack it. And in my opinion, players with amazing decision making are the players that go on to do the most amazing of things. If you don't have elite decision making, I feel like it will always hold you back, regardless of your mentality, regardless of your technical ability, regardless of your physical capabilities. For me, IQ is so important. And with him, for somebody that sat down and watched him like the entire campaign last season, I didn't see it like on a consistent of basis to turn around and say, you know what? You just need a bit of refining. You know what? You just need that consistency. You know what? You just need that hands-on coaching. Like, I genuinely saw a guy that made the wrong decision 8 times out of 10. And in my opinion, he's very tunnel vision. Like, if anybody knows what that means. Like, a tunnel vision player is a player that plays with his head down. When you play with your head down, you don't spot the passes as quick as you should. And if you don't spot them as quick as you should, you can't execute them. When you do execute them, it might be the difference between a player being onside and offside. With Conceicao, for me, like last season, he would cross when he should shoot. He would shoot when he should have passed. He should recycle when he tries to take on 3 players. And yes, it works sometimes. Like, it worked against RB Leipzig, and he was probably the reason why Juventus went through. But there's also a lot of reasons why, in my opinion, sometimes he held the team back in the final third. But listen, based on everything that I've said, sometimes all you have to do is give a player time, patience, and just hope and pray that they develop. If they don't, I guess that's a problem for another day. But listen, 30 million for Francisco Conceicao, 4 payments, 4 installments. Time will tell. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, that's the only thing I could really say. Time will tell. Let's just hope and pray that he has himself a good campaign. Let's just hope and pray that the fact that now he's a permanent squad member, the lingering thought of, oh, I'm on loan and I need to impress and this and this and this and that. Let's just hope now that he's more settled. He probably suits Tudor more than he suited somebody like Thiago Motta. Let's just hope he can kick on. Because if he can't, Juventus will have themselves a very similar problem to Nico Gonzalez, where he didn't perform. Now they're looking to cash in, and you never know. It might be a similar case this time next year. But listen, I'm all in. Yeah, you know what? His life is all about giving people another opportunity, a fresh start. So you know what, Conceicao, I'm on board. Yeah, let's see what the future holds. Now, if you do, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on another one.